9981 or 0724 114411 or the details on your screen. Boma Mabati. Mabati ya kila boma.
New Tuzo Yogurt Cup. Size yako, bei yako.
This is NTV.
Call it a mere coincidence, but on this 23rd day of February, at least 23 county assemblies passed the BBI bill. Well, it is probably a game of numbers, as we're about to see on NTV tonight. Tonight, Kenya is a step closer to the referendum. Constitutional amendment bill gets green light from more than the 24 county assemblies threshold.
This being a constitutional amendment bill, they cannot propose amendment. So obviously, it means that it will take a very, very short time.
We look at the next steps in the BBI journey. Plus, Mount Kenya turns the reggae volume up as MCAs vote in support of the BBI bill, upsetting Tanga claims and predictions.
You can rent a Kikuyu, but you cannot buy a Kikuyu. Bottom line, they will still vote for their own people.
Baringo is still the Lone Ranger.
Baringo atuombe msamaha, we are 31 against 9. 31 against 11. Kani ni wengi, nani ameweza kuwakilisha mwananchi hapo. So uweze kuomba msamaha, sisi Baringo atuombe msamaha.
Also tonight,
Copenhagen is a city.
Yes.
Nairobi is a city.
Yeah.
Kenya is a country. This is a country that has its own laws.
Or Nairobi, if you may, the Kemsa constituency edition. Another walk-in, questionable multi-million shilling tender, this time 225 million shillings.
I'm used to clever Kenyans, but today I've met a prophet who in January sees Corona coming.
Is there any law that I've broken?
It's blood on your hands, my dear.
Plus, little boy was absent from school. His teachers raised the alarm. The 8-year-old, his mother, and her boyfriend were all found dead at Jogoo Road government quarters.
Hapo kile kimetendeka huko ndani hatujajua ukweli. Ni ile tu sasa alipopigiwa simu mara mingi hapatikani, tukaanza kushuku ni kuna kitu haifanyiki si mzuri.
A possible case of murders, then suicide.
NTV Tonight with Mark Masai.
Good evening, David Agundo, our sign language interpreter, and I are glad that you've chosen NTV tonight for your day's update. And I see it's Flora Atieno, Stephen Omindanganya Apo. But anyway, let's get started. The Orange Democratic leader, Raila Odinga, prophesied that this would be a Super Tuesday for the Building Bridges initiative. And his prophecy has come to pass, going by the response from at least 23 county assemblies today. Well, the country is almost certainly set to head to a BBI-inspired referendum after the requisite 24 county assemblies passed the Constitution of Kenya Amendment Bill 2020. Now, this, what you're about to see, and my director will run, is in no particular order, by the way, but it maps out how the county assemblies responded to what has now been termed as the BBI bill. It all looks like formality in terms of what stands in the way of the BBI bill getting to the floor of the National Assembly and Senate before presidential assent, paving way for a referendum. But we will get to that. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. That's how it has played out so far. And we are yet to hear from at least 12 county assemblies on where they stand, because so far, only Baringo County Assembly has stood out to be counted as one not endorsing the BBI bill. Well, as you've seen there, the last one here in the list of yes, Kakamega, to the no vote, Baringo County Assembly. And we'll be getting to that, in fact, right now. Kenyans are likely to go to the referendum earlier than projected month of June this year. This is after at least 35 county assemblies approved the Building Bridges Initiative Constitutional Amendment Bill, exceeding the required constitutional threshold of 24 county assemblies. Vincent Odwor tells us what next.
On justice and legal affairs.
As predicted by ODM leader Raila Odinga, it was a Super Tuesday for the proponents of the Building Bridges Initiative, who secured a big win today, paving way for a referendum to change the constitution.
Will as many as that opinion say aye?
Aye. By this evening, 35 county assemblies had approved the BBI bill. In most of the county assemblies, the MCAs passed the BBI bill with a unanimous decision. It is only the county assembly of Baringo that has so far shot down the BBI bill, a move that has created animosity between Jubilee and KANU MCAs in the assembly.
Hata hatuna haya mbele ya Wakenya wote kusema kwamba sisi ndio peke yetu tulipinga. Nimejaribu kuangalia katika social media, Wakenya wanasema BBI serving at 30, Baringo receiving at 1. Sasa jameni, kwa kweli watu wa Baringo hawakupewa nafasi wenyewe wajieleze.
Now the BBI bill will proceed to the Senate and the National Assembly. It is here that the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee of both houses will consider the bill, make a report on it, and table the report on the floor of the House for legislators to debate and take a vote to either approve or reject it. According to the National Assembly Speaker Justin Muturi, it will almost be a mere formality, requiring at least 2 weeks to dispense of, given that it is an amendment bill.
This being a constitutional amendment bill, it cannot be, they cannot amend, they cannot propose amendment. So obviously, it means that it will take a very, very short time.
If the BBI bill sails through the House by a majority vote, it will be forwarded to President Uhuru Kenyatta for assent. Thereafter, the President will direct the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission to hold a referendum within 3 months. The BBI National Secretariat co-chair Junet Mohammed says they have lined up a series of public rallies to drum up support for the constitutional reforms and will soon release a referendum schedule. Vincent Odwor, NTV.
Well, all 10 county assemblies from the Central Regional Bloc have passed the BBI, the Constitutional Amendment Bill 2020, which is commonly known as BBI Bill, disabusing the notion the bill would face some headwinds there. In some counties, it was 100% approval for the bill, while in others, a handful rejected, but not enough to make a change. NTV senior political affairs reporter Kennedy Morethi looks at the voting patterns and likely political implications moving forward.
An almost landslide approval of the Constitutional Amendment Bill 2020 by county assemblies in the Mount Kenya region is being viewed as a strong statement to leaders in the region allied to Deputy President William Ruto. The celebrations being a manifestation of the underlying fears of a likelihood of the bill being defeated. In Murang'a, where some of the MPs vocal in the Deputy President's team come from, it was a unanimous vote as 53 MCAs gave the clean bill of health.
Sasa ile ya muhimu sasa ni hiyo nyingine, tutaongea na mwananchi apitishe hizo pesa. Asa hata asipitishe katiba, apitishe pesa.
Here, there has been a spirited fight by some MPs to besmirch the document, including a recent tirade by the county senator Irungo Kang'ata, who wrote a letter to the president saying a majority of the residents did not support the BBI. Kang'ata had said his research, mainly carried out in Murang'a County, captured the views of most residents of Mount Kenya.
That is a problem, a very deep-rooted problem of BBI ratings in our region.
Tulionyeshwa BBI ukiuga mkono, MCA walipewa milioni 2. So hata raia huku na unaona mimi niko mashinani. Hata wao wanagoja pesa yao. Juu wameona BBI ni maneno ya pesa. Na kama MCA anapewa milioni 2, hata hawa raia wakipewa pila mtu 10,000, hata anunue kang'ombe, ni sawa.
A lot of the noise that happens out there, sometimes we keep thinking that you can actually be influenced because of social media. People have seen today Mount Kenya voting as one block. Kirinyaga has voted unanimously. Other counties have voted unanimously. I said it before, I will say it again. You can rent a Kikuyu, but you cannot buy a Kikuyu. Bottom line, they will still vote for their own people.
In Nyeri, another area regarded as a rebel county, only 2 out of 44 MCAs rejected the bill. The Speaker declared the bill passed in the Assembly, with the MCAs, other elected leaders and residents breaking into song and dance. The celebration trend continued in several county assemblies, hailing the win as a move in the right direction for the region.
Otherwise, it's not possible to have a middle position. It is either you support BBI or you don't support BBI. And we are hoping that everybody who is of the development mind in Tharaka-Nithi will support BBI.
We have serious interest in the BBI process because it is bringing a lot of resources, machinani, so that the members of the county assembly and the members of the public can be able to get their share.
But even as the celebrations continue, there have been concerns of intimidation on the part of MCAs to pass the bill.
Welcome, His Excellency.
County governors abandoned their busy schedules and camped in their assemblies the whole time as debate continued and listened through voting, perhaps to mark those who will go against the grain. The passing of the bill also comes barely a month after President Uhuru Kenyatta met the region's MCAs at the Sagana State Lodge and promised a series of perks including car grants. Kennedy Muredi, NTV.
That wasn't the only thing happening today. Let's get to some other developments and further evidence of how COVID-19 millionaires were made by the lax procurement process at the Kenya Medical Supplies Authority came out on Tuesday. Parliamentarians interrogated yet another enterprising Kenyan who walked into KEMSA empty-handed and walked out a multi-millionaire. Olive Burrows tells us how they made a killing at the expense of the sick and dying.
Said here, and it's here. I'm not the one who wrote this letter. Correct. That you imported some of these kids. Correct. So you have been misleading this committee all through. I've not been misleading the committee. I'm going to say this. I used other people's language because they are the ones who had already imported.
This is a document authored by your co-director.
Yes.
So you cannot tell us here that you are using other companies. Did you import or not?
I did not import.
Tuesday's sitting of the Public Investment Committee of the National Assembly
proved a stormy one when the jaw-flexing Joel Ndegwa, a director of Melton Enterprises, appeared before it to defend a 225 million shilling tender he won from the Kenya Medical Supplies Authority to supply personal protective equipment.
They say COVID-19 current market environment impact on procurement, okay? This is written by Copenhagen, and they say they're going to be new suppliers. I'm familiar with the UN procurement. Significant price increase.
All right, Joel, if you tell me that this is a document from Copenhagen, Copenhagen is a city.
Yes.
Nairobi is a city.
Yeah.
Kenya is a country. This is a country that has its own laws.
Is there any law that are broken?
Yes, there is procurement law. There is procurement law, Mr. Chair. Remind the witness that there is procurement law.
I think I'd already done that. I don't know whether you were not around, but
the witness knows
I
about the procurement law. So it is not like he's going to a shop to buy jugu.
Ndegwa was hard-pressed to explain how all it took for him to secure the tender was to send in a proxy, a banker by the name of Margaret Murage, to meet with the procurement manager, Charles Juma, without so much as producing a quotation.
Did you have a commitment from anyone that they can be able to give you these 30,000 pieces?
All you needed was to have the money and the job. They did the reverse procurement, in short.
All you wanted was to catch in and crush cancer, not to supply and save lives. So your R&D was about making a kill. It's blood on your hands, my dear.
Though he denied his wife and company director Lydia Kariuki is related to the KEMSA CEO, Jonah Manjari, he had no rejoinder to the revelation that at the time his company secured the tender, that is in April of 2020, KEMSA stores were already saturated and lower bids of 4,950 were turned down in favor of their more expensive PPE kits valued at double the price.
How is it that people who are so interested and who invested lots of money and have shops in Kenya are not able to walk through the gates of KEMSA to find that there is activity going on? But one Lydia or Margaret walks in casually.
In Iraq.
Yes.
I am not aware about that. And I did not have connections. If I had connections, I would be paid my money in full.
You were paid within a period of about a month, isn't it?
Correct.
Despite pocketing a cool 117 million shillings as a middleman, having purchased the PPEs locally, then resold them to KEMSA at an exorbitant price, Ndegwa maintained that he and his wife were not COVID-19 millionaires and simply forecast a need for the PPEs in January of 2020, cashing in on the business opportunity.
I'm used to clever Kenyans, but today I've met a prophet who in January sees Corona coming, that then he decides that this is where to anchor his business and sends Margaret to walk into KEMSA offices, and lo and behold, he finds that there is procurement.
Olive Barrows, NTV.
Police in Nairobi are investigating a case of suspected murder and suicide where a man who is believed to have killed his girlfriend and her 8-year-old child killed himself a few days after. The bodies were discovered in the lady's house after the school that the son attends raised the alarm to the father over his absence. And when the father arrived at the ex-wife's home, the bodies were found. Leila Mohammed reports.
Residents gathered at the ground floor of this apartment block at the government quarters along Jogoo Road in Nairobi as police officers walked in and out of one of the flats in preparation to move the bodies of 3 people, 2 adults and a child, down to a waiting police vehicle. Residents say that 2 of the dead were last seen alive 48 hours ago.
Niliwaona mara ya mwisho on Sunday. Kama wamekuja kwa duka.
Neighbors say that they last saw the woman who police have identified as 34-year-old Charity Chaboy on Saturday. Police also say that she was attached to the Register of Persons in Mathare branch office, which is under the Ministry of Interior. Neighbors have told reporters that the boy's father was called by his school for being absent for a second day, and when his mother's calls went unanswered.
Hapo kile kimetendeka huko ndani hatujajua ukweli. Ni ile tu sasa alipopigiwa simu mara nyingi hapatikani, tukaanza kushuku ni kuna kitu haifanyi si mzuri. tukaamua kufungua dirisha, mtu mmoja akaingia akaangalia ni nini imefanyika. Kuingia huko akatuita tuvunje mlango, ndio tukajua kuna maneno imeharibika huko.
The woman and her son's partly decomposed bodies were found in the bedroom, while that of the man was found inside the bathroom with both his legs and hands tied.
There was a stench, but nile according to vile, like mimi nimekuwa karibu na mili imekufa, family, friends have died and all that. The body had started to stink. Enye ingepita leo ingekuwa inatupa kabisa.
Nairobi Region Police Commander Rashid Yakub said there were signs of struggle as the rooms were found in disarray. Police suspect that it could have been a case where the man killed the woman and her son, then days later took his own life as his body did not appear to be in the same condition as that of the other two. Both woman and son, identified as Alan, were holding rosaries in their hands. Neighbors also say that the man, identified only as Kevin, was a regular visitor to the home. Kevin apparently asked one of the neighbors for help with lighting a charcoal jiko which he had, but the lady declined. Police say the jiko which had not been lit was found inside the toilet next to his body. Detectives from the crime scene investigations from the DCI visited the scene and collected forensic evidence and photographed the bodies before they transferred them to the mortuary. Detectives say they had already identified at least 3 people who they believe could help them unravel the mysterious deaths. Leila Mohammed, NTV.
We say pole sana to the family affected, and after that disturbing story, I'm sure you need a break. Let's take one at this point. I'll be back shortly.
New Tuzo Yogurt Cup. Size yako, bei yako.
Have you seen this beautiful place?
Mommy, what is Welcome to Garden of Joy?
Buy a value-added plot of land at the Garden of Joy off Kangundo Road that has solar street lights, elevated water tank, and guaranteed security. Deposit 700,000 and get 16K and your Istanbuzi is sorted. Call us on 0790 300 300.
For a better tomorrow, don't forget to do the 1, 2, 3 with Colgate every night.
New Tuzo Yogurt Cup. Size yako, bei yako.
What is family? Family is a solid foundation to build on and a strong pillar to lean on. It is believing in each one of us for the betterment of all of us. Family is working together today to win together tomorrow. It is creating opportunities for a lifetime of happiness. It is knowing we are valued, respected, understood, and most of all, supported. The future is bright because you can always bank on family. Family Bank, with you for life.
Ni ukweli imeshuka bei, smartphone ya nguvu 4G, screen kubwa ya kuwatch game ni 3999 pekee.
Ni ukweli ni kutoka Safaricom, iko na betri kubwa na apps zote za Google unazozipenda. Isitoshe inakuja na 3 months free WhatsApp, unachat hadi usiku na kesho nyingine.
Ni ukweli plus free education bundles za Shupavu 291 na KICD. What?
Ni ukweli bei ya Neon Ray Pro sasa ni 3999 pekee. Pata smartphone ya nguvu kwa bei nafuu kutoka kwa duka la Safaricom au dila leo. Safaricom, for you.
The magic beckons. From aquatic thrills to wild adventures, experience our latest additions to the magical Kenya Signature Experiences collection, filled with the most unique and authentic Kenyan travel experiences to cure your wanderlust. No matter where you choose to travel in this paradise we get to call home, you will be spoiled for choice and make memories that you'll cherish for a lifetime. Rediscover the magic.
Welcome back. Unavailable father, wise and generous man are just some of the words the family of the late Juja MP Francis Munywa Waitito have used to describe him. The late Waitito battled cancer valiantly for the last 3 years as he carried out his legislative duties. He, however, lost the battle last evening at around 7:30 p.m. at MP Shah Hospital. His family says he was suffering from brain cancer. During his illness, the late legislator also helped raise awareness on cancer and initiatives aimed at lowering the cost of treatment in the country.
And I would wish to thank Juja people, to tell them that we are also condoling with them. And I thank you for their support for the long journey with Mheshimiwa, because he was diagnosed in 2017, and it has been a long journey for him.
He molded each one of us in a very personal level. In terms of the family and the office, he also opened the doors of the office to the family. This home, we have had very many office briefings, especially during those days when he was sick and he could not go to office.
Na tunamjua tu kwa kazi njema yake amefanya. Na tunamjua tu kwa uzuri. Na tumesikia tu kusitika. Tumesitika kwa hiyo kifo yake. Ndio tumesikia hivyo.
Meanwhile, President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy William Ruto have joined the list of those that have eulogized the late Juja MP Francis Munywa Waitito. In an official statement, President Kenyatta stated that we've sadly lost a very progressive, trusted and committed leader whose public actions always reflected the interests of his constituents. Deputy President William Ruto described the late Waitito as a principled, hardworking and respected leader who was above party politics, adding that he was selfless, bold and gifted with an affable personality. The late Francis Waitito, also known as Wakupe, was eulogized by his colleagues in Parliament earlier today. Let's listen in.
Give them what they are consuming, I will pay on their behalf. Honorable Speaker, Wakape has taught us to be loyal.
Despite his illness, he would never live without cracking a joke or two. And he took his illness in great stride. He demonstrated great courage. Courage in the face of adversity. And it reminds us, Mr. Speaker, of how transient life is. Perhaps, and given the nature of how this house is being ravaged, Mr. Speaker, other than the daily prayers that you give at the start of every session, maybe we should now have a national prayer day.
R.I.P. to Wakape, I should have said, as he was fondly known. The Kenya Union of Clinical Officers have suspended their countrywide strike. The suspension is due to a court order issued on the 22nd of February that has ordered the health workers back to work despite their demands not being met, beg your pardon. Anita Nkonge is on that development.
Clinical officers nationwide have been ordered back to work following a court order issued by Justice Maureen Onyango on Monday, 22nd of February 2021. Though they have yielded to the pressure, their demands remain unmet.
It does not mean that our fight stops as at now because our demands have not yet been met.
The union is now asking all their members to report to their respective workplace, but say they still do not feel safe in their working environment and will look for alternative ways to achieve their demands.
So we are going to take all the measures possible, including going back to court and requesting for orders to compel the employer to be made to sign the return to work formula or to provide another framework to ensure that the working environment is remedied to make it safe.
The court order directs all disciplinary proceedings, including evictions of health workers from government houses, are stayed forthwith. Employers to pay salaries to health workers, unions, dues and other third-party deductions to continue being remitted, and workers to report back to work forthwith and to benefit from the foregoing orders. Meanwhile, in Busia, county health workers have managed to reach an agreement with the county government and have called off their strike.
Kutoka kwake amesema ya kwamba atahakikisha ya kwamba wale ambao walikuwa kazini watalipwa mishahara yao na wale pia watakaorudi kazini watalipwa mishahara yao. Na issue ya victimization amesema kwa upande wake mpaka wa leo wale ambao wamerudi kazini hakuna hata mmoja ambaye amekuwa victimized.
The clinical officers have been pushing for the provision of adequate personal protective equipment, risk allowance amongst other needs they deem important, and ensuring their safety while working on the front line fighting the COVID-19 pandemic. Anita Nkonge, NTV.
And the clinical officers, rightfully so, worried about the environment they work in because of the pandemic that we're faced with. And let's look at the update on that in the country. Today, 10 patients succumbed to the virus, taking the fatalities up to 1,837. From the latest round of testing, there were 194 new infections from a sample size of 3,935. The COVID-19 caseload in Kenya is now 104,500. 39 more patients have recovered, making the total 85,665. And we wish quick recovery to the 344 patients who are currently admitted in various health facilities and the 1,283 patients on home-based isolation and care. As we take a break, here's something to look forward to in your Daily Nation tomorrow. As Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga camps in their jubilation gear up for BBI campaigns, what next for DP William Ruto? Also, triple murders of a woman, her child and boyfriend that have shaken a city estate, and when a rich neighbor causes you anguish. The plight of 1,000 homeowners along Kenyatta Road who can't move into their property. To read these and much more, ensure you grab a copy of the Daily Nation tomorrow.
We keep running faster and faster. I don't know what we're after yet. You're happy being alone and I got you on my mind. You're always on my mind. You're always on my mind.
Nestle Nunkid 4 helps build a strong foundation for your growing child. Nestle Nunkid 4, our best for you.
You have worked so hard. Now your project is nearing completion. You now need to crown your labor. For over 50 years, East African Cables has been a premier manufacturer of high-quality electrical cables, manufactured to international standards for the region, giving you the reliability and safety you deserve. We manufacture an extensive range of power cables for applications in domestic lives.
Welcome to our new office. Wonderful sight. Just imagine 1, 2, 3, 4. This is where the parking is, and then the warehouse front door here, the reception here, and the fridges here. The lorry's entrance there, and their exit there. One way only. What is it?
So where is the building?
Fast, stress-free construction. Get your factory-made buildings in 10 weeks with SafBuild. Order yours now. SafBuild, a quality building solution from MRM.
New Tuzo Yogurt Cup. Size yako, bei yako.
Parenting is all about learning when to be tough and when to be gentle. Tough, gentle. But when it comes to fever, you need to be both. Panadol Baby and Infant starts to work on fever in 15 minutes and is gentle on the tummy. Tough call. Panadol Baby and Infant. Tough on fever, gentle on your child.
With the Stay Soft refill, saving money is as easy as snip, pour, mix with water, and shake. Stay Soft refill. It's 2 liters of Stay Soft for up to 30% less.
New Tuzo Yogurt Cup. Size yako, bei yako.
Kijani Ridge is Tatu City's premier neighborhood, offering a 1.5 acre fully serviced plot in a controlled development. The plots overlook a beautiful dam with natural green spaces. Kijani Ridge is a walking distance from Nova Pioneer and Crawford International Schools. Families are already moved in and more homes are under construction. Contact us for daily site visits and join us for our mega open weekend on 6th and 7th March.
Time to handle business, and county governments could soon begin issuing bonds in the capital markets as more secure credit ratings, allowing investors to assess their credit worthiness. Laikipia County has become the 4th devolved unit to receive its credit worthiness report from ratings agency GCR, marking yet another step towards unlocking its ability to raise debt. Laikipia joins Bungoma, Makueni and Kisumu, which received their ratings in 2020. Laikipia plans to issue its planned 1.4 billion shillings infrastructure bond. Victor Kiprop has the details.
In the last 8 years of devolution, the challenge of limited resources has severely constrained development at the grassroots level.
We have had a challenge of dwindling on-source revenue from the counties. Counties over-relying on the exchequer.
Our challenge in supporting the counties has been one, the uncertainty of whether the funds will come or not come.
But as more counties receive their credit rating scores, there's some fresh hope that this will help mobilize more funds from the private sector.
Why would they be able to use those cash flows to be able to issue instruments in the domestic market to raise additional money to expand the water infrastructure? This is what we need to think about.
In the self-funded credit rating undertaken by GCR Ratings, Laikipia County has been assigned a national scale rating of BB positive for long-term instruments and a rating of B for short-term instruments, meaning the county is stable enough to repay loans. The rating also takes the county closer to tapping into debt financing with its plan to float a 1.4 billion shillings infrastructure bond.
Once you are able to have your creditworthiness assessed, you are more attractive to investors so that they are able to look at how we can invest in your counties and looking at how we can create new ways of raising money.
A number of creditors to county governments have asked a question. Can county government, can national government pay them directly and deduct it from the allocation of the county government? And I think that is not possible. Currently, the laws that we have at the moment, unless we change the law.
Through the Credit Worthiness Initiative launched in 2019, the Commission on Revenue Allocation CRA and the World Bank Group have been looking to bridge the gap of credit worthiness in the counties in order to improve access to finance. Victor Kiprop, NTV Business.
The Kenya Revenue Authority mobilized 784.9 billion shillings in tax revenue in the 7 months ended January 2021, representing 50% of the target set for the current financial year. According to data from the National Treasury, KRA collected 111.3 billion shillings in tax revenue in January 2021, a decline from the 145.9 billion shillings collected in December 2020. The total revenue collected as at the end of January 2021 stood at 1.4 trillion shillings, against the targeted 2.8 trillion shillings. The taxman is banking on the newly adopted taxes such as minimum tax and digital services tax to help boost its performance. Savings and credit cooperative societies, or SACCOs, are owed close to 4 billion shillings by public entities, leading them to reach out to the Commissioner for Cooperatives for firm action to address the pending bills. That was one of the highlights from the 6th Annual SACCO Leaders Convention taking place in Mombasa that has been organized by the Kenya Union of Savings and Credit Cooperatives. Here's Alex Mwangi with more details.
Braving the COVID-19 pandemic has been an uphill task for many businesses, SACCOs included. Pending bills have, however, exacerbated the situation for SACCOs.
We would like universities, county governments, water companies, and fresh produce entities compelled to release statutory deductions owed to SACCOs totaling to 3.8 billion Kenya shillings. Further, county governments should pay legacy and remittances inherited from the defunct county municipals and town councils.
The Kenya Union of Savings and Credit Cooperatives, KUSCO, is calling for more stringent measures to eradicate the cancer of pending bills in public offices.
But we take note that despite numerous interventions by the Commissioner, not much has been achieved.
KUSCO has also taken issue with the section of the Cooperative Societies Amendments Bill 2020, which seeks to limit the tenure of directors at SACCOs to a maximum of 3 terms of 3 years each.
We would wish to have continuity, and because of the democratic principle, we expect that it is the membership that can dislodge the directors. But the legislation itself should be facilitative to enable these directors continue as long as the members still have confidence in them.
The cooperative movement defied the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic to post 12% growth in total assets last year to 622 billion shillings from 556 billion shillings in 2019.
Let us use online platforms, including social media, vibrant websites, and apps to market and ensure our SACCOs remain feasible to members.
Alex Mwangi, NTV.
Labour Cabinet Secretary Simon Chelugui says concerns raised by digital taxi drivers on the need to be recognized as workers and not independent contractors are valid, but the appropriate regulations to guide that sector of the economy in Kenya have not yet been developed. In response to a landmark ruling by the UK Supreme Court recognizing digital taxi drivers as workers entitled to minimum wage and other benefits, a section of Kenyan digital taxi drivers on Monday asked the government to adopt a similar approach.
The ruling in London on Friday does not apply to our jurisdiction.
We can only reference, it can only persuade us, but it cannot be, we cannot act on it as a country. Two, the labor laws on gig economy, on internet-based services have not been properly developed. And we will need an engagement as a ministry to develop regulations and also guidelines on how to run such a kind of economy, which is the way to go. It is the future of our country.
That's enough of me handling your business for the night. We continue with NTV Tonight after the break.
New Tuzo Yogurt Cup. Size yako, bei yako.
This looks different.
It is. See for yourself.
Okay, so it's a photo.
Look closer. Photos within photos.
What about video?
8K video. Beyond cinema quality.
So...
You can pull portrait quality photos straight from video.
But will it last the whole trip?
Battery for the whole trip and the way back.
This is different.
Told you.
Do your gums hurt? Yeah. Does your toothpaste contain sage, eucalyptus, myrrh, chamomile? All that in one toothpaste? Yes, try Colgate Herbal. Colgate Herbal contains nature's best herbs and Colgate's fluoride technology to give you strong teeth and healthy gums. Ah, Colgate Herbal. Let's go. Colgate Herbal for strong teeth and healthy gums naturally.
New Tuzo Yogurt Cup. Size yako, bei yako.
Mhasibu Sacco Society Limited is a reputable Tier 1 Sacco for all professionals. We pride ourselves in business stability and growth, having been in existence for the last 35 years with an asset base of over 6 billion shillings and over 18,000 members spread across the world. All professionals should join us to benefit from competitive products, high qualifying credit, attractive returns, and services automation. Join us and attain your financial independence. Mhasibu Sacco, the Sacco for professionals.
Just got faster. Get fully locked on Airtel 4G. Enjoy our wider coverage. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Disinfect and protect your home with Jik. Jik kills 99.9% of illness-causing germs. Disinfect floors, kitchen and bathroom surfaces, and wash white clothes, towels, and dishcloths with Jik bleach. Just Jik it.
Like every mother, I'm worried about dangerous insects, especially mosquitoes, which spread diseases like malaria to my loved ones. This year, I'm not afraid. I'm using Mortein Doom. Mortein Doom All Insect Killer provides protection in seconds. Not even a single mosquito is spared, because even one mosquito bite can cause malaria. Mortein Doom provides protection in seconds.
Beat sensitivity pain fast with Sensodyne Rapid Action for clinically proven relief in 60 seconds.
Nestle Nunkid 4 helps build a strong foundation for your growing child. Nestle Nunkid 4, our best for you.
Thank you for staying with us. 3 years ago, a major landslide hit Gitogi area in Madhyoya, Murang'a County, and with it, slipping away with the homes of about 40 families. The affected were hosted at Mutito Polytechnic as plans were put in place to have them resettled. Well, to date, a family of 5 has been living in a displacement camp at the Polytechnic, struggling to put food on the table. Martin Mora shares their plight.
In April 2018, Mary Wambui and her family hit the headlines with a horrifying story of a near-death experience after a landslide struck as she slept. Her brother-in-law did not survive. Wambui, who was pregnant then, was rescued by her 2 boys who pulled her from the sludge. Today,
huyu mtoto ile maporomoko ilikuja 2018, nilikuwa na hii mimba na sasa mtoto amekuwa mkubwa.
The affected families were hosted at a local polytechnic after the tragedy, but majority was soon resettled on their land after a geological report determined that the farms were safe for habitation, with each getting a 3-roomed house. The government had promised to seek alternative land to relocate those whose farms were ruled uninhabitable. Wambui was one of them, but to date, she doesn't have a place to call home.
Tunaambiwa tuhame kwa sababu ati tulikaa sana mwaka 1, 2 na sasa tunaelekea 3. Sasa ile swali nauliza, tunahama tunaelekea wapi?
Fortunately, Aweluisha has acquired a rented room in Gituge Shopping Center to host her family, but it is only for the next 3 months.
Sasa hiyo miezi 3 ikiisha, tunashindwa tutaenda side gani? Na hakuna pahali pa kujenga huko. Hata saa hii kunatoka maji, hata tukiteremka huko tutapata kuna maji. Tukienda huko, si ni kifo tutafuata tena tukijengewa huko.
The family is concerned about the future of their children, one of them a KCPE candidate. This comes as the Meteorological Department sounded the warning that Murang'a County will receive above normal rainfall from mid next month.
Ambao huwa wanapata mvua ya kiwango ya chini ya milimita 500. Tunatarajia wapate mvua ya zaidi ya milimita 500 hata 600. Katikati ya Murang'a ndio Kadala, Kahulo, Kiriaini, Kahuhia. Tunatarajia mvua iwe ya kati ya milimita 700 mpaka 800. Maeneo hiyo mengine yote ambayo inapakana na msitu ya Aberdare, tunatarajia mvua iwe ya kiwango ya zaidi ya milimita 800. Na Murang'a iko na historia ya maporomoko ya ardhi. Hatari ya landslide ya maporomoko iko juu msimu hii.
A call to vigilance and cause for concern. Martin Mora, NTV, Murang'a County.
Let's take a break from that now and get to some uplifting news, I hope, from Watson Karuma in the sports in a bit.
New Tuzo Yogurt Cup. Size yako, bei yako.
Heaviness and a burning inside, it could be heartburn.
Indigestion and heartburn? Eno gets to work in 6 seconds and works on the 6 symptoms of heartburn so you can keep living life non-stop. Eno, fight heartburn and indigestion fast.
Maji mdosi wangu ametupa simu yangu ndani ya maji.
Mdosi wako kwa sawa. Venye Nkirota ameniambia ajui na akimpigia simu ashiki. Hi, guy, what the?
Let them know irritation. We
For the women who deserve more, Moped is now in Kenya and more than 40 countries. With its nylon-free surface, new Moped has unique softness and up to 100% protection. Your skin will love it.
From far with you. I even gifted you a magnificent house. Rosa, it's the thought that counts. Please help me.
When it comes to fever, you need to be both. Panadol Baby and Infant starts to work on fever in 15 minutes and is gentle on the tummy. Panadol Baby and Infant, tough on fever, gentle on your child.
New Tuzo Yogurt Cup. Size yako, bei yako.
One of the best ways to save money is by visualizing what you're saving for. If you need motivation, set saving targets along with a timeline to make it easier to save.
All professionals should join us to benefit from competitive products, high qualifying credit, attractive returns, and services automation. Join us and attain your financial independence. Mhasibu Sacco, the Sacco for professionals.
Parenting is all about learning when to be tough and when to be gentle. Tough, gentle. But when it comes to fever, you need to be both. Panadol Baby and Infant starts to work on fever in 15 minutes and is gentle on the tummy. Tough call. Panadol Baby and Infant, tough on fever, gentle on your child.
Mix of the Week in association with Airtel.
I don't check my energy. For the journey, for the journey. For the journey.
Bossy, bossy. Fast just got faster. Get fully locked on Airtel 4G. Enjoy our wider coverage. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Breaking news from Molfix. Let's see what they're developing right now.
Molfix pants with anatomic fit technology. New Molfix pants, an invention from babies for babies.
You should also try Molfix.
Baby shark,
Have you seen this beautiful place?
Mommy, what is welcome to Garden of Joy?
Buy a value-added plot of land at the Garden of Joy off Kangundo Road that has solar street lights, elevated water tank, and guaranteed security. Deposit 700,000 and get 16K and your Istanbuzi is sorted. Call us on 0790 300 300.
Did you see the girl that I was with?
The waitress?
I think I kissed her.
You what?
She was gorgeous.
If hivi utajipata wife, shida za pesa ndogo ndogo ziishe.
Kuna mtu mwingine?
Anaitwa Popa. Kwani wewe ni mechanic?
Ufanya wera mengi sana.
Na hii jina yako Pop ni nickname. Na wewe umeoa ama uko single?
Sina mtu.
Madem unapenda dem unaweza muita labda wife in future. Unapenda dem anakaaje?
Mimi napenda madem wako na godoro.
Help build a strong foundation for your growing child with Nestle Nunkid. Nestle Nunkid 4. Our best for you.
Welcome to NTV Sport. I'm Watson Karuma. About that uplifting news Mark is talking about, well,
Let's find out now. The national marathon team to the Tokyo Olympics has been revised with 4 athletes dropped and 2 added. 2020 Valencia Marathon winner Paris Jepchirchir and London Marathon silver medalist Vincent Kipchumba have been included, while Valerie Ayabei, Sally Chepiego, Titus Ekiru and Bidan Karoki have lost their spots owing to lack of competition last year. The rest of the team includes world marathon champion Ruth Chemgetich, marathon world record holder Bridget Kosgei and former London Marathon winner Vivian Cheruiyot. Olympic marathon champion Eliud Kipchoge, world marathon bronze medalist Amos Kipruto and 2019 Boston Marathon winner Lawrence Cherono form the rest of the men's teams. Well, this could be uplifting. Tusker FC came from behind to beat Nzoia Sugar 2-1 and extend their lead atop the Football Kenya Federation Premier League table. Jackson Masharia cancelled out Ian Simiu's goal that had given Nzoia the lead before Henry Major gave the Brewers the win. In Mombasa, Bandari climbed to third after running rout against Vihiga United, thrashing them 5-0. Benjamin Mosha and Abdallah Hassan scored inside of 7 minutes in the first half to ensure that the Dockers went into the break in the lead. Mustafa then continued from where they'd left off before halftime to make it 3-0 before Darius Msaga added 1 more and Benjamin Mosha completed his double. Bandari now have 22 points from 13 games, while Vihiga teeter above the red zone with 9 points from the same number of matches. KCB will attempt to close the gap between themselves and Tusker on Wednesday when they take on Sofapaka. In other games tomorrow, AFC Leopards host Ulinzi Stars, Kakamega Homeboys play Zoo Kericho, Mathare United take on Wazito, and Western Stima clash with City Stars. Former Harambee Stars captain Musa Otieno has expressed concern over Gor Mahia players' behavior in Zambia during a CAF Confederation tie. Otieno called for discipline among players to avoid what could prove to be costly for Gor Mahia. Kogalo lost 3-2 on aggregate to Napsa Stars with a last-minute penalty leading to the alleged assault of a match official.
Ni jambo naweza sema sana. Kwanza, kama nilipokuwa pia kapteni, kuna decision zingine za referee ni final. Kama mchezaji naweza patia tu at least advice, usijaribu hata kwa karibu na referee, kwa sababu nafikiria kuna tunasemaga ile wrong, any wrong decision una make kwa life utagoje upate consequences. Na nafikiria pia kusema tu ukweli, hawa wachezaji ambao walienda wakashika referee kama kocha ama kama mchezaji, nafikiria haitakuwa kazi rahisi kwao, kwa sababu nafikiria shirika la CAF haitawahurumia.
Alafu kiangalia watapigwa labda faini, na ni faini ambayo kiukweli ukiona Gor Mahia wanahangaika, shilingi hamna, tena shilingi nyingine wanaisababisha iende upande ambao haistahili.
Nafikiri ukiangalia hapo ndio tunasemaga discipline kwa pitch na off the pitch, kwa sababu na pia ilikuwa mechi ngumu sana. Decision ya referee ilikuwa ni final na alikuwa make the decision. Ukiangalia pia kocha wao mdogo Pamza alikuwa anajaribu sana kuambia wasikaribia referee. Sasa zingine lazima tuangalie hiyo discipline. Unaweza kuwa umekasirika, lakini kuna ile kiwango kingine hauwezi fika, kwa sababu tunasema baada hapo kuna precautions.
Now, Musa Otieno spoke during the Wadao Premier League launch, and this league involves football fans in the country, and it was launched today here in Nairobi. The Fans League, which will be played on Saturday at the Strathmore University grounds, received a 300,000 shilling boost from betting firm Melbet. Teams which will participate in the league include Kulundeng Original, Kulundeng, Simba, Swara, Tigers, Ndovu, Mafisi, and Hippos, and those teams received football kit and balls from Kombora Sports. Former Harambee Stars captain, as I told you earlier, that is Musa Otieno, was the guest of honor.
This is the first of its kind, the first that we are sponsoring and being main part of. Na tunashukuru for this opportunity, because this is not the first, this is not the last. We are willing to have a relationship, a long-term relationship with the Wadao Premier League. And for the remaining of the series, we'll still be around to keep sponsoring.
So we're just here to ensure that all partners are given an easy time as far as logistics is concerned, so that you concentrate on your core mandate to enable us give the fans what they deserve.
Tumekuja pamoja kwa ajili ya kuweza ile kujumuika tu kama familia na kujifurahisha. Yeah, so Ni kitu tumekuwa tukipanga kwa muda mrefu, na siku ya leo tuwafurahia kwa maana tumepata wadhamini.
Well, the team's names there are quite something. Kulundeng. I don't know what that means. Now, reigning champions Bayern Munich travel to Stadio Olimpico tonight to face...
All those who made this bulletin possible are because of you. Keep safe. Good night.